Don't take Tylenol. Don't do it. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give Tylenol to your child. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. Don't have your baby take Tylenol. Just don't give it. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
It's so immature. It's the Elon Musk part of it that makes me laugh. All right, quit. We're not here to joke. We're here to talk to Tracy. Joining me now, the editor-in-chief of Undercover DC, my friend Tracy Beanz. All right, Tracy, a lot was made about the Tylenol during pregnancy thing, and of course, young meatheads like my sons are calling their friends Tylenol Americans now. What is the truth of all this Tylenol stuff?
Well, they found there was a causal link between the use of Tylenol and autism in children when moms took it during pregnancy, or as doctors advise you to do after you shoot your child up with 700 vaccines in their first visit. Give them Tylenol when their immune system reacts and they get a fever. And Tylenol can mess with certain pathways that allow the body to cleanse itself of heavy metals and toxins. So the causal link between Tylenol and autism is actually likely, in my humble opinion, more of the impact of Tylenol stopping the body from being able to, detoxify itself from the assault it had just undergone at the doctor's office.
All right, Tracy, we're going to go ahead and pause here for a moment because I need you in your health freak ways, just like my wife, to explain what you're talking about when you talk about heavy metals and things like that, because morons like me are that, and we think Metallica. That's not what you're discussing. What are you talking about? Heavy metals in your body, cleansing. What is this?
Let's get Metallica to the Super Bowl. That's what I have to say to that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
So when you are injected with a vaccine, there needs to be something in the vaccine to agitate the body to react to the virus or whatever they're injecting you with, right? Trying to make you immune from. And they use heavy metals to do that. So aluminum, mercury, other metals are in these childhood vaccines that then go into the body. The body says, ooh, what's that? And reacts to it, thereby building an immune response to the thing delivered with the metal, right? So once that's over, what is your body going to do with that? It doesn't want it, but the Tylenol potentially blocks the pathways the body would use to get rid of those metals after the injection. So does that help? Is that better?
That actually helps a great deal. Now I feel so much smarter. I'm going to tell all my friends this now. Okay, let's talk back up more about the Tylenol thing. Tylenol has been publicly lampooned for putting this out publicly years ago that, hey, pregnant women maybe shouldn't take it. So if this is something that has been kind of known for quite some time, why would it take this long to just come out and say it? What was the political motivation, or what? Maybe there was none. Explain this to me.
I think it's money. I really do. I really think it's money. And, the craziest thing I ever saw, a teeny bit off topic, was during the COVID fiasco. There was a pregnant woman on TikTok, and she was about 8 months along, and she was like, I just went and got my COVID shot, but I'm nervous about taking Tylenol. And I'm sitting here like, okay, so you're nervous about taking Tylenol, an over-the-counter medication, but you just got yourself injected with an experimental vaccine that hasn't really been tested on pregnant women at all, and that's okay. People are just not thinking straight. We as women, at least me, when I was pregnant with my kids, I didn't eat, cold cuts because they talked about the danger of those. I stayed away from cats, but when I was sick, I took Tylenol. You just figure because it's available over the counter, it's safe. And then why go around and talk to anybody about the danger of it after that when it's making so much money? There was a huge push to get Tylenol available over the counter, and it's actually not good for you at all. You think you're taking something safe. It's really very bad for everybody, not just pregnant women. So, just heal yourself naturally. Start taking care of your body, putting good food in it, and then don't get sick. It's very simple.
Like Red Lobster. All right, setting that aside, let's talk a little Big Pharma, because Trump recently talked to the head of Pfizer. Here he was.
Thank you. I'm curious, where are the other companies other than Pfizer? Are you expecting them to come along later?
They're all with us. And I was honored to have Albert be the first. He's done a fantastic job with, as you know, with the COVID. He did a fantastic job with a lot of things. He's a leader, and Pfizer is right at the top. You know, it's there. Eli Lilly has been fantastic also, your friend, my friend. And they're all coming in over the next week. We're making deals with all of them.
Great.
That made me feel yucky.
I mean, seriously, you know, it's so hard with this administration because he takes 10 steps forward and then takes 5, 6, 7, 8 back. And you just wonder where he's getting information from and what he's paying attention to. The bottom line is this: our country is very, very sick, and a very large majority of our country is dependent upon pharmaceutical medications instead of just being healthy, like I said, and going to Red Lobster. I don't know. I mean, if that's what your bag is, baby, I guess. But if we were healthy, we wouldn't need the pharmaceutical companies. So we're in this hamster wheel of millions of sick Americans dependent on prescription drugs, and drug companies like Pfizer jacking up the cost of those drugs for the people that need them. So should he make a deal with Pfizer and say great things about them? No. But we also have a nation of very, very, very ill individuals who are now dependent upon medicine to live. And so what RFK is doing is trying to tackle that issue, not necessarily embolden the pharmaceutical companies, which is what's been happening for, 50, 60, 70 years now. I hated it. It was terrible.
Tracy, I know this is kind of a chicken or the egg question, but I generally find it fascinating because when you look at how pilled out America is in the studies, it's eye-popping that the wealthiest, most powerful country in the history of the world would be pilled out of its mind. What came first, the unhealth or the pills? Because it's very noticeable.
Probably the unhealth came first, and it really started amping up with you're going to love this one. Truthfully, when moms started going to work instead of staying home to take care of their children, where I think that they should be, in my opinion, meals went downhill. Everything needed to be convenient. Time was less spent on, taking care of your kids. Not only that, but the vaccine started being mandated, and then we started getting all kinds of disease after that. So food quality went down. Moms were busy outside the house. The whole women's, feminism movement that I wish never happened, happened. And so you have moms not paying attention to their kids, feeding them garbage, which makes them sick. And after a while, we have to play catch up, and we're there. So, and that trickled up, right? So from kids eating McDonald's that used to be cooked a lot better to them becoming adults and doing the same thing over again, we've now got about 2 generations, if not 3, that are very, very unhealthy. And it's really, in my opinion, a lot of it was convenience, and a lot of it was the mandated vaccines for kids entering school.
I knew it was going to be tied to women going into the workforce. I knew it. I blame so many of our problems on exactly that. All right, Tracy, tell me about an inconvenient study. What is this?
So I'm speaking on behalf of myself right now. This is a film that's about a study that was done at Henry Ford Health Center, where they compared unvaccinated to vaccinated children and looked at the differences in health outcomes between the two. And what this study that was not published shows is that, at least in this category, this is the one that got me, vaccinated children were 6 times more likely to have an autoimmune disease than unvaccinated children. Other asthma, eczema, other health issues, 3 times more likely, 4 times more likely in the vaccinated cohort. And that study was never published, and now it was. So this movie is going to go through and show what that study showed and the story behind it. And I'm excited to see it because I think it's something. There have been 6 or 7 other studies like this done and never getting any attention. And this one was from a very well-respected health institution at Henry Ford. And so the results of that should be made public for everybody to see. And you can actually find it on the Senator Ron Johnson's website, because he was the one who brought it forward. And they had a hearing on it a couple weeks ago. It's pretty stunning. And I think if parents saw this, they would at least have a little bit more informed consent when making choices about vaccinating their children.
Okay, so two things that I want you to clarify. When you talk about vaccinations of children, we're not talking about COVID, we're talking about the standard vaxes, right? The ones that are thought that every parent's told they have to give to every child, okay? That's one.
Yes.
Two, why wasn't it published?
I don't know. My opinion? Probably because it showed that there was a 6 times greater chance of your child having an autoimmune disease if they were vaccinated. Just throwing it out there. Because health became politicized, Jesse, instead of health. Because healthcare became politicized from insurance to illness. Healthcare is now politics, and that is absolutely not the way it should be. That's why.
Yeah, it's ugly. It is an inconvenient study. Highly recommend you go see it. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.